Hi, this is a Swede Speaks, commenting on, politics, culture, history, ideology, whatever goes on in the world in general and in Sweden in specific. And now I need to address what's going on with the Muslim school bus in Sweden. Or more specifically, there is a Muslim school called Al-Azhar. It's in Vällingby, a suburb of Stockholm, one of the northern suburbs of Stockholm with a large Muslim population. And there is a Muslim school there called Al-Azhar. Apparently they have their own school buses. And in these buses, girls sit in the back of the bus. They even enter the bus through the back, as far as I understand, while boys sit in the front. Yeah, girls to the back, boys to the front. Doesn't it sound loudly? Doesn't it sound wonderful, lovely? Or maybe not? Doesn't really fit in with the narrative of Sweden being a feminist country, does it? Anyway, the Swedish Prime Minister, Stefan Löfven, who is a social democrat, and at least officially a third-wave feminist, I know where he comes from. I know some people who come from the same town as him and the same area of Sweden, and they think that he is just saying whatever he needs to say to be in power. They find it hard to believe that he is a real feminist. He comes from a working class environment in the north of Sweden, Örnsköldsvik, I think, or Kramfors, up there somewhere anyway. But he has commented on this, and he has said that this is despicable. Really? Did Stefan Löfven say this? Is he surprised? And why on earth is he surprised? I mean, if he really is surprised, maybe he is. I don't know. Because I don't know how ignorant he is. I don't know if he understands anything about Islam, or if he really is as ignorant about it as he sort of pretends to be. A few years ago, on May 1st, which is Labor Day in Sweden, his first May speech was in a part of Stockholm where there are many Muslims, and he was quoting the so-called Prophet Muhammad. Why would he do that? Well, I guess because he wanted to be popular with the crowd. I guess so. And does he know anything about Islam? I really don't know. So maybe he is surprised. Or maybe he acts surprised. And, I mean, this is Sweden. On one hand, you have Muslims forming parallel societies. You have the no-go zones. And in these no-go zones and parallel societies, there is no such thing as third-wave feminism. I don't even think there is first-wave feminism there. And there are a few first-wave feminists of Muslim background in Sweden. But they usually don't live in these areas anymore, because they can't. They can't live there, because they will be threatened and attacked. But in Sweden there is a feminist party, or actually, of the 8 parties of the Swedish parliament, at least 6 of them have at one point or another said that they are feminist. I'm a little unsure about the Christian Democrats, but they might have done that too. So in that case, there are 7 of them. That would leave only the Sweden Democrats, who I think never really call themselves feminists. But we also have, or Sweden also have, the party Feministiskt Initiativ, the Feminist Initiative. And even though they are still a small party, and I hope it stays that way, they are in the European Parliament but not in the Swedish Parliament. But the ideas they have are also common among people in the Green Party, among Social Democrats, among some of the people in the Left Party, and even among some people to the so-called right in Sweden. So, as a case study, let's mention the ideas of the Feminist Initiative. The ideas that are influencing lots of people outside their own members and their own voters. The Feminist Initiative wants transsexual bathrooms, or gender-neutral bathrooms. They want sexual education in preschools. They want minors to be able to change their gender legally, and even for them to have gender change operations. And they want to introduce a legal third gender. Those are just some of the things they want to do. They also want to allow marriages with more than 2 people in it and lots of crazy stuff. I think maybe that the Islamic part of Sweden would love the idea with plural marriages, but apart from that, and they would of course only allow it if it's one man and several women, not the other way around, or any other kind of combination you could think of. I mean, sometimes I think that Sweden is a lot like Iran. Iran, before the revolution, you had the left teaming up with the Muslims. And the left, I think most of them were formally Muslims, but they weren't really practicing. But they teamed up with the practicing Muslims to get rid of the Shah, who I guess they considered him a dictator, and well, I guess he was. And they got rid of him, and when that was done, the Muslims turned on the left. And actually, I believe that might very well happen in Sweden too. And when I discuss these things with people in Sweden, like some people think that you should just ban all religious schools and you should just ban all religious symbols and problem solved. No. First of all, we should be able to distinguish between problems and non-problems. Islam is a problem in Sweden. Christianity isn't, Judaism isn't, not even Buddhism or Hinduism are any real threats to Sweden. Not as far as I have been able to see. So I see no reason why we should, yes, this school, Al-Azhar, should be banned. But Christian school and Jewish schools should be allowed to operate. And yes, the hijab and the niqab should be banned. But there is no reason to ban people from wearing crosses or wearing a kippah. But then people tell me the Constitution of Sweden says that you have to treat all religions equal. Okay then. I understand this is a problem that we cannot solve very fast. But what should be done? The Constitution needs to be changed. And what needs to be put in there is define Islam as what it is, an aggressive ideology, or just define it as an ideology and ban ideological schools and ban ideological dresses, and I mean declare hijab and niqab as a part of that. But of course that would be a heavy reaction against it from the 1 million or so Muslims in Sweden. No, thank you very much, Swedish politicians, for creating this situation. So I don't know really if there is any peaceful solution left in Sweden. And I mean, I am happy enough to live in Norway and to have a Norwegian passport now. And I'm not giving up my Norwegian passport for a Swedish one. I might give it up for a better passport, but not for a worse one. And when I talk to Norwegians, I tell them we should close the border to Sweden. I mean, okay, we could allow tourists from Sweden, but if anyone wants to move from Sweden, we need to check who they are. So all the agreements, the inter-Nordic agreements and everything, yeah, we can have such agreements with Denmark and Finland and Iceland, fine. But with Sweden, no. Something needs to be done. And Sweden needs to be put in its place, really. And the neighboring countries need to wake up before that's too late. There are disturbing things going on in Norway and Denmark and Finland too. Sweden is just in the forefront of the craziness. But of course there are stuff going. I mean, the entire Western Europe has cornered themselves. Maybe except for Iceland and maybe Ireland. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about Ireland. I'm pretty sure Iceland is still fine. But more or less all the rest of Western Europe isn't fine. And what's going to happen? Are the Swedes going to have to seek for asylum in Russia or Poland? Who knows? Okay, not to digress anymore. The point here is that, hey, we got 2 value systems dominating Sweden now. We have the Islamic and we have the third wave feminist, and those 2 are going to clash. And I think that the Islamic one is winning in that case. Because as I said before, the left really consists of irrational women and beta males. They don't stand a chance. I mean, I wish there were others to stand up in Sweden, but the silent majority of Sweden, you're still pretty silent. Would you please start to speak up? Please? You don't need to give people your name, but do it some way. Please. And that's what I have to say about this right now. I would like to thank the people who are supporting this channel through prayers, through Patreon, through PayPal. That is all greatly appreciated. And if you like this channel, please subscribe. I recommend you to click the little bell. I think that helps. Please share my videos on social media. Please comment if you got something to say. And if you like this video, please like it. This is A Swede Speaks. Have a nice day.